All right, today I'm going to give you some hints for when we've got some tricky slope and y-intercept problems. Just a few things to keep in mind of what we already know about slope and y-intercept. So first, when we have it in this format, we always know that this is the slope. Previously we called it rate of change, means the same thing, and this is the y-intercept. So if I just have a problem like y equals 3x plus 7, I can right away say that my slope is 3, my y-intercept is 7, and I can graph it. I start 7, I go up 3 every one day. Now, sometimes we get equations that don't look like that. If I gave you the equation 2x plus 4y equals 24, right there, I can't find the slope and y-intercept because, at least in this format, because it doesn't look like this. So if we go back to unit 3, or our solving unit, if I say, well, look at here, y is by itself, am I able to get y by itself here so it would look like that? Then I can find it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by taking away 2x on both sides. I have 4y equals 24 minus 2x. Divide both sides by 4. We're going to share that love, and I get y equals 6 minus 4 divided by 2 is 1/2 x. So now this is in a very similar format to our typical one that we've done. So when I look here, I know that my y-intercept is always the one without the x, so that's going to be 6. So don't get tricked that this was first when typically it's last. It's really the one without the x. And my slope is going to be negative 1/2, and it's all because that's a minus, not a plus. I'm sorry, that looks funky. So if I don't see it right away, I can always convert the format into what we call our slope-intercept form. Not very genius by math people because it's slope and y-intercept, so they call it slope-intercept form. But if I convert it into that by always getting y by itself, then I can find the slope and the y-intercept. Another thing we need to know is if we're just given some coordinates. So if I said that we've got the coordinates 2, 8, 5, 11, and 10, 22. And we wanted to know, are those all on the same line? Well, if I have coordinates on the same line, they're going to have the same slope in between them. It doesn't matter, like if you think of our tables that we used to do, let's say on day 0 you have 6 friends, on day 2 you have 10, on day 4 you have 14, on day 6 you have 18. If I go from here, I get 4 friends every 2 days. 4 over 2 would be a change of 2. Well, if I wanted to look from here to here, I gained 12 friends in 6 days. Well, that's still 2. It doesn't matter what coordinates you pick, but they should all, if they're on the same line, they should all have the same slope between any 2 of them. So that's what I'm going to kind of look at here, is do these have the same slope? So I'm going to start and say on day 2 I have 8 friends, on day 5 I have 11, on day 10 I have 22. Okay, well, I know that I gained 3 friends in 3 days, so that's really a slope of 1. 3 friends in 3 days is a slope of 1. If this is equivalent to a slope of 1, then I know I have it. I gained 11 friends in 5 days. Nope, that's not a slope of 1, so we would say not on the same line. Okay. Now, one more type of question that we see that gets people a little bit tricked is if they said that on day 7 I have 12 friends. On day 11, no. Let's do on day 9, I have 15 friends. Then on day 20, what would go there? So there's a couple different ways to do this. My favorite is still using our table format. So what I would start is I would say on day 7 I have 12 friends. I always start with the smallest of the days. Day 9 I have 15. So if I look, I'm gaining 3 friends every 2 days. So I'm going to continue that pattern as I go down. So that means on day 11 I have 18. Day 13 I have 21. Day 15, I'm going to run out of room here. I have 24. Day 17, I have 27. Day 19, I have 30. And day 21, I have 33. Now some of you might see this right away at what do I have for the next day, but I kind of want to show you in case you don't see it right away. So I really wanted to know what matched with day 20. So it's kind of like I want to know what fits in right there. Well, it didn't fall on my table, but I still can figure it out. If you think I know that I gain 3 friends every 2 days, but my jump from here to here, I only need to go 1 day. So I need to figure out how many friends would that be a change in 1 day. Well, to go from 2 to 1, I divide by 2. So I'm going to take 3 divided by 2, and I get 1.5. So that means it increases 1.5 every day. And my answer here would then be 31.5. Another way, if you could have just seen it, that 20 is right in between 19 and 21. So I need this to be right in between 30 and 33. So 31.5 would work. All right, good luck. Hopefully you can get that worksheet done, and the challenge worksheet, and the sub should have the answers to it so you can check to see how you did when you're finished. All right, thanks.